and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires.
Angel Reese, once hailed as the Bayou Barbie, the face of college basketball, and a self-proclaimed icon of the new WNBA era, just got dropped by the Chicago Sky. And no, this isn't a joke. It's not a rumor, and it's not some social media stunt. The former LSU star is officially out of the lineup, and the aftermath has been nuclear. But what truly turned heads was Stephen A. Smith, the face of ESPN, stepping to the mic and putting Angel Reese in her place. No sugarcoating, no media niceties, just raw, unfiltered truth. And honestly, the WNBA needed it. In today's video, we're breaking it all down, what led to Angel Reese getting benched.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did, it would have never gotten to this point.
The role her attitude and play had in this disaster, and why Stephen A. finally drew the line and called out the chaos. Strap in, because this one's going to be a scorcher. Let's start with what actually happened. Following a string of underwhelming performances, missed rotations, chemistry issues, and let's not forget multiple on-court altercations, the Chicago Sky coaching staff made the decision to pull Angel Reese from the lineup. Reese wasn't just benched for a quarter or two. This wasn't a let-her-rest situation. She was entirely out of the rotation in a must-win game. Now, for those who've been paying attention, the signs were there for weeks. Reese has been struggling not just statistically, but in terms of discipline, basketball IQ, and frankly, team chemistry. While Caitlin Clark has been setting records,
Season tipped off this weekend with several marquee matchups on the slate. Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound.
elevating teammates, and growing the league, Angel Reese has been trending more for off-court drama than on-court dominance. And when Chicago finally said enough is enough, that's when Stephen A. Smith had to weigh in. Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. On First Take, in front of millions, he took the gloves off. He started by addressing the facts. You're in the WNBA now. This ain't Instagram. This ain't nil deals. This ain't runway fashion. It's time to play basketball. And right now, Angel Reese is failing that test. And that was just the opening shot. Stephen A. pointed out that Reese came into the league with more hype than most rookies.
As I was calling it from day one, you got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of.
Thanks to her rivalry with Caitlin Clark, her college championship, and her massive social media presence, people expected her to bring fire, intensity, and maybe even a little attitude. But as Stephen A. put it, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. And Angel Reese is acting like the league owes her something. The league doesn't owe her a damn thing. He went further, saying Angel's focus seems to be everywhere except where it needs to be, on winning basketball games, improving her fundamentals, and being a good teammate. And in typical Stephen A. fashion, he dropped the hammer. You ain't LSU anymore. You ain't in college anymore. You're in the WNBA. And if you can't produce, if you can't control your emotions,
Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you're losing by 35 points on opening.
That's
I mean,
true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level.
if you can't stop playing dirty, you're going to find yourself out of this league real quick. And that's the part that stuck with fans the most. That sense of reality finally catching up to Angel Reese. So far in the season, Angel Reese has been underwhelming. She's shooting under 38% from the field, her turnovers are high, her assist-to-turnover ratio is poor, and she's constantly in foul trouble. She leads all rookies in technical fouls, and her defense? Let's just say opponents actively target her because of how frequently she gets caught flat-footed or out of position. Compare that to Caitlin Clark, the player she's constantly feuding with, who's already had double-doubles, record-breaking threes, and multiple game-saving plays despite being the primary target of every defender. The truth is, Angel Reese came into the WNBA thinking her brand would carry her. But as Stephen A. so perfectly said, this league is about production. You either produce or you sit down.
I'll read a little bit more on that in just a second, but before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The WNBA has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
Oh man, the latter part of that, Stephen A., is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Right now, Angel Reese deserves to sit. This is about more than just Angel Reese's stats. This is about a larger cultural divide in the WNBA right now. On one side, you have veterans and legends who built this league on grit, skill, and respect. Players like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and Tamika Catchings. On the other, you have this new wave of players coming in with big followings, flashy style, and massive egos, sometimes with more followers than points. Stephen A. spoke directly to that shift. Angel Reese represents a new generation that thinks going viral is the same as winning. It's not. Real pros win on the court, not on TikTok. He even brought up past greats who came into the league.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated, and that's unfortunate because we got some no-good-ass people.
Took their lumps, learned from vets, and worked on their craft. But instead of humility, Angel Reese came in throwing elbows, literally and figuratively. And it's finally caught up with her. Let's not forget, this isn't just about poor performance. Angel Reese has become notorious for cheap shots, hard fouls, and taunting behavior. From roughing up Caitlin Clark with hip checks to trash-talking on dead balls, she's developed a reputation. Coaches are seeing it. Refs are watching it. Opponents are responding to it. And now, fans are turning on her too. Even former players like Cheryl Swoops and Becky Hammon have criticized Reese's approach, saying it's not just immature, but dangerous to the league's growth. Stephen A. echoed those concerns. If this league is finally getting attention, finally getting fans, finally getting broadcast deals,
And she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's fourth in the league in MVP voting. Fourth in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. We lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats.
The last thing we need is one of the rookies turning it into a sideshow. Angel Reese's Instagram and Twitter were flooded with criticism after her benching. Fans demanded accountability, called out her selfish play, and even defended the Sky for making the tough call. Meanwhile, support for Caitlin Clark skyrocketed. Merchandise sales, jersey numbers, TV ratings, all up. And let's be honest, the more Angel Reese plays the villain, the more Clark looks like the professional hero. This dynamic is backfiring badly on Reese. What was once a compelling rivalry is now seen as one-sided, with Angel looking petty and ineffective while Caitlin Clark keeps showing up and showing out. So, where does Angel Reese go from here? Stephen A. Smith gave some advice during his rant.
She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
Saying, "You've got talent, you've got heart, but you've got to grow up. Stop trying to prove a point and start proving you belong." And honestly, he's right. Reese still has potential. She can rebound, she's physical, and she brings energy. But without maturity, it's meaningless. The WNBA is growing fast. There's no room for distractions. Behind closed doors, league execs are paying attention too. Angel Reese was supposed to be one of the faces of the WNBA's next era. But now, she's becoming a liability. Sponsors, teams, and networks don't want drama. They want results and respectability. Multiple insiders are now saying the Chicago Sky may move on from Reese entirely if she doesn't turn things around fast. And other teams? They're not exactly eager to pick up someone known for technicals and tension. Sad because the hype was real. But the reality? Even bigger. Angel Reese got benched. Stephen A. Smith called her out. And now, the ball's in her court, literally and figuratively. Will she rise above the drama and prove the doubters wrong? Or will she continue down the path of excuses, fouls, and failure? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. Stephen A. Smith said what needed to be said. And in doing so, he might have just saved her career, if she's willing to listen. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was Stephen A. too harsh? Or was it the reality check Angel Reese desperately needed? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a breakdown of the biggest WNBA stories.